Good morning. Welcome to our information session for international students from the class of 2021, DePauw University. Good morning. I'm Eliza Frame, Director of International Student Services.
My name is Kitajima. I'm a senior student at DePauw.
And hi guys, Lutfi Jarari, Associate Dean of Academic Life and Director of International Recruitment. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Today we want to make sure that we have the chance to answer many of the questions that we've been getting from all of you by email and by Facebook, in the group as well. So we're here today to really answer those questions and provide additional information that we know is important for you as you're planning your arrival and getting ready for the first semester. So we're happy to have many students from the first year class, as well as exchange students and those who've been admitted to our one-year language department assistant program. Can't wait to meet you on campus, but we're here today, to share some helpful information. So we're going to have Yuka ask questions, and you're welcome to submit more questions in the chat function, in the chat area as we go. So keep the questions coming, and we'll respond to those as we can.
Yeah. So the first question is regarding applying for U.S. visa. So what are the steps that students need to follow to apply for a U.S. visa, and when will their I-20 or DS 2019 arrive?
Okay, great question. So guys, the first thing is please wait until you receive your I-20 or DS 2019 before scheduling your visa appointment. It's very, very important. Please also know that Eliza's office is working super hard to get all the I-20s and DS 2019 ready. And, really we're expecting within the next 2 to 3 weeks that all the I-20s and DS 2019 that, they'll be sent to you. So that's the first step, is to receive the DS 2019 or I-20. The second step is to apply for your visa. So there is a document called the DS 160 that you have to fill out. And you can find that document in the U.S. Embassy website. So fill out that form. Please, if you have questions, let us know. We're very familiar with the form. We've done that form before, so we'd be very happy to help you. The only question that I remember getting about the DS-160 is, what name to add for the DePauw official. And what I want to tell you is you can either have my name or Eliza's name. And our addresses are in our emails. Whenever we send you an email, in the end there is a signature, so you see our name, our phone number, and address and everything. So that's going to be very important. The last step is when you go, the day when you have your visa appointment, make sure that you take all your documents. So you need to take your I-20 DS 2019. You need to take your admission letter. You also need to take your bank statements. Remember that as you're applying as a non-immigrant student. That's the non-immigrant visa category, which means that you need to prove that you have strong ties to your home country, that you're not trying to immigrate to the United States. So during the visa interview, that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a decision that you are legitimately coming to the United States to study. So, and you guys are all wonderful students, and we really care for you and everything. So please remember that. Please remember to show proof that your goal at the end is when you finish your education that you're planning to go back home. That's going to be very important.
A couple more important points to add to what Lutfi's already mentioned is that when you are completing your documents for the application process, one requirement is to pay the I-901 CVIS fee, and that's also a document that you'll need to print the receipts and take it with you on the day that you have your visa interview. You also need to bring that with you when you come to the U.S. as a part of the immigration documents that you could always be asked to show when you're going through customs and immigration inspection. Another point I wanted to make was, there was one other point.
About the visa?
Right. Oh, just about there's a lot of information on our website, and we've specifically put instructions about how to apply for a visa, what to know when you're going through customs and border protection inspection. So use our website. That's a great resource if you need to go back and remind yourself of the details. And we have links to the important immigration websites as well, like where to pay the I-901 fee. So that's a good resource for you. And yeah, okay.
Okay. The next question is, when should students arrive in the United States?
So we encourage each of you to be sure you understand what the first day of your academic program at DePauw is going to be. Some of you are coming on August 1st for English Institute, and you'll need to report to campus that day. Some of you will be coming first for the beginning of International Student Orientation, which begins on August 14th. So those start dates for your academic program are listed in your admission letter. So you really need to be sure that you read your admission letter and understand what your required arrival date is. And that should also be reflected in the I-20. Language department assistants have a different arrival date. You'll have a later start to your program, and that will be the Thursday, August 17th. On your arrival day, our staff will pick you up at the airport, the Indianapolis International Airport. And in our new international student checklist, you'll be able to select the airport shuttle through our office that you'd like to request. So be sure that you give us all of your flight information and select your shuttle for your arrival day. We also, really encourage you to get to the United States early. To take advantage of tourism, of course, it's good to get to know the new country you're about to study in for 4 years or 1 year. So arriving first for that and getting adjusted is important, but especially so that you can rest. Once you get to campus, orientation will have as much rest as we can manage to put in, but orientation is a busy time when you need to get to know people and important resources. So you will be busy once you get here. So please be sure, if you can, to come to the U.S. a little in advance to get over jet lag, adjust to your new schedule, and also begin functioning in English and in the U.S. system. You will only be able to access your dorm room or your living unit on the first day of your official academic program. So if you are participating in English Institute, we can't wait to see you on August 1st. You won't be able to access your dorm room until that day. Same if your arrival date is the 14th of August for International Student Orientation or the 17th for Language Department Assistance.
Perfect. You talked about the hotel.
I didn't. We make a special arrangement with a nice hotel that's just near the Indianapolis airport, and they have a free airport shuttle, free breakfast. They're very friendly, and the hotel is very nice. We get a special rate for DePauw students, specifically for international students and parents as well. So we encourage you to stay at that one. It's called the Staybridge Suites. And if you call and make a reservation by phone, they should give you a special rate. Just make sure that you mention that you're coming as a new international student to DePauw. And that's a great way also to meet new friends in the international class. You can, find someone who might want to share the room and split the cost of the room for the night. Or for, a week in advance and explore.
Mm-hmm. And I think the last thing that I want to add about the hotel is that we're going to provide all the information, their phone number, the website and everything. So please don't worry about that. We will make sure to share all that information with you.
And it's actually in the admission letter as well the pre-arrival letter that we sent with your I-20 or that you will get once you get your I-20 for DS 2019.
So regarding the housing placement, how does that process work in terms of building selection, preference, roommate assignments, and how does the housing placement look like to first-year students and as well as to exchange and language department assistants?
Good question. First-year students, you should have already received an email that has instructions for how to log into your e-services account, which is our main student information system at DePauw. So you each should have your login information and instructions at this time. And once you do, then you'll be able to access the housing preference form. That online form to request housing is through a residential life sort of online information system. It's called Residence. So in e-services, you'll find the housing preference form link, and that's in a residence system. So you'll go there and you'll make a selection, ranking preferences about building, what your lifestyle is like, what kind of floor you want to live on. So instead of just saying, I want to live in this building and having to know who your roommate will be in advance, what we care most about is not really exactly where you live, because all of the first year buildings are excellent, and what we care most about is matching you with the right kind of roommate and a building that meets your needs. So you're going to focus in the online form about what you care most about in a roommate and in a lifestyle. That will include building preferences and room preferences. And then we'll match you with the right building and the right roommate.
Yeah, we've got some questions about each first year dorm, so I'm gonna go into a little bit about how each dorm will look like. So Holgate Hall has suite, which is you have your own room or you have your shared room with your roommates, and then there's going to be 3 or 4 rooms around this one common area. So you can hang out there if you want, you can put your stuff there, but it's going to be an open common area for you. College Street relatively has a smaller number of students in an entire building compared to other buildings. So if you prefer that kind of building, you can choose that. Humbert is a traditional dorm, which means there's a long hallway and there are rooms on the side. Um, and Bishop Roberts and Longden are the same way. However, they are connected underground. So that's really interesting. Lucy Rowland Hall is another traditional dorm. Oftentimes, it's a healthy living option, which means that students who are committed to healthy lifestyle can choose that dorm, and students are expected to be substance-free on their residential floor.
Which means no alcohol and no drugs of any kind.
But as Eliza mentioned, the most important thing that you can do is to provide as much information about yourself as possible. Contact your roommates beforehand as soon as you find out who you're going to be rooming with, and figure out each other's lifestyle, and also be friends with them. And once you arrive, then you can make friends by knocking on the door, initiate the conversation, and that way you can have successful dorm life. If you have more questions about dorms, you're more than welcome to contact us. But again, try to provide as much information about yourself, and you're going to have great dorm life.
One important thing that Yuka mentioned is getting to know your roommates. We'll talk a lot more about that, but I want to make sure everyone hears that in the US, it's very, very much expected that you get to know your roommate before you arrive to campus. So you should definitely plan to email your roommate, friend them on Facebook, WeChat, something like that. And language department assistants and exchange students have a little different living arrangement. So those are upper class students already, familiar with university life, and we place all exchange students and language department assistants in upper class student housing at DePauw. And that means they'll be university owned on campus apartments or houses. And those houses, mean that you have the option to purchase a smaller meal plan. Everyone has to, and Lutfi will talk more about that. So you can choose a smaller meal plan if you'd like, if you live in an apartment or house on campus. And that means that you can have about 3 to 4 meals a week in the dining hall and do the rest of your cooking yourself. And the language department assistants and the exchange students will be placed with American students in their living units.
Awesome. Great. So you touched on about meal plan. How do students register for the meal plan?
Great question. Guys, breaking news, you don't need to register for your meal plan. So all the first year students, you automatically will have a standard meal plan that will provide you, your 3 meals a day. So please don't worry about that. You guys are fine. You don't need to do anything to get a meal plan. For LDA, Language Department Assistant and Exchange Student, like Eliza mentioned, if you live in apartments or houses, then you have a small meal plan. So 3 to 4 meals provided a week, because the majority of LDAs and exchange students, they want to cook themselves and they have a kitchen and everything else. But if upper class students, if they don't live in a dorm, if upper class international students live, in a regular dorm, then they have the standard meal plan again. If the upper class international student live in an apartment or a house, again, they have the small meal plan, which is 3 to 4. Hopefully we did not confuse you. If we did, please write a comment and then we can explain a little bit more.
Great. So how do students fill out the student health record form? There were also questions on the live chat
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah.
about immunization records as
Hmm.
well as TB tests. So could you maybe talk
Yeah.
about that?
So guys, the first thing is that you should have this student health record form. I think that Eliza and her office, they shared that document with you as a PDF, and also it's provided in the website, the health services website. So that's the first step. The second step is that you need to take that form to your physician, to your doctor. So that form needs to be filled out by a doctor. We strongly recommend that you do all your immunization before coming to the United States. It would be much easier, much cheaper, and you can do that during the summer month. It would be more tedious to do at DePauw. It could be done at our health services, but sometimes they don't have all those, TBs and all those vaccinations that are required. So please, if you can do it in your country, it would be much, much easier for you.
There are some required immunizations, and there are just a few. And yes, the TB test is part of the required kind of immunizations and tests, but you have a list of recommended immunizations as well. So talk with your doctors, talk with your families, and as Lutfi said, I strongly encourage you to get all of it done. They're very serious about the health record being submitted by July 1st. And you can send it as a PDF by email. Please let us know if you have questions, and we'll work with you to answer those specifics for each person.
Um, so when is the first payment for tuition and fees due, and
Mhm.
how should students pay?
It's a great question because this applies to everyone, and there's actually a quite simple answer. At DePauw, all student fees and tuition are charged by semester.
Mhm.
So you only have to worry about, the big payments being made 2 times a year. There may be small fees that might be something additional, like if you lose your ID or your key or something for your dorm room. So maybe small things here and there. But at the beginning of each semester, you'll have all of the tuition and fees, and that's also when your scholarship is applied. So you should see the full tuition and fees charged. Then very soon after your tuition and scholarship, and if you have a loan, those funds will also be accounted for in your student account.
Mhm.
And then, you'll have a balance due. So you get tuition and fees charged, scholarship is applied, and then you'll see the total balance due. So that will be for your fall 2017 semester charged in the first week of July, and that will always be due about 30 days after. The first payment is due for everyone on August 1st. There are options to pay. One of them is CashNet. That's the most convenient option. That's an online credit card payment. It's an outside service, so you'll see a link to CashNet in eServices.
Mhm.
eServices itself will actually show you the detail. CashNet will basically only show you the amount due. So check the details in eServices, make the payment by CashNet if you'd like, and there's also a new option to do a Western Union payment that is an in-country bank-to-bank transfer option, which is very nice, and it's a little cheaper and faster. So you'll see those. Let us know if you have questions about payments.
And one quick comment about that is please don't be late on paying your tuition, or otherwise you'll be charged for extra fee for
Mhm.
that. So you just don't want to pay late if you can. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go talk about academics. So what is a first year seminar and how do students choose one?
The first year seminar is a very important component of the DePauw experience. It's the foundation of your first semester and your first year, and it's something that's going to benefit you throughout your 4 years at DePauw. So first year seminar is a special writing intensive course because the liberal arts requires a lot of critical thinking and very good writing and speaking. So this course is specially designed to help first year students gain the skills that they need to adjust well
Mhm.
to academics at DePauw and university in the US. So you will have a first year seminar professor who's specially trained to advise and work with you as a first year student, and you'll have a mentor who is assigned to that course. This is an upper class student leader who's trained to work well with first year students and help them adjust to life, not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom as well. You'll have a small number of students in your class, and you'll become hopefully very good friends with them. You'll get special activities together throughout the first days and weeks of your first semester. So the first year seminar, you will have a list of seminar courses that you can choose from, kind of rank them, and you'll be assigned to one of your top choices. And they're all very interesting. They're interdisciplinary and unique classes. So it will also serve to expose you to new topics you might not have explored before. It's a great course, and this is the best way to adjust to academics at DePauw.
Great. Before going to talk about course requests, there was a question about health insurance fee. Could you maybe talk about that?
Sure. The health insurance fee will be charged probably in August or September. That's one fee that gets charged later because sometimes, we might have changes to the student enrollment. But you will be charged for each semester. It will be 2 times a year. And this year, the fee will be $711 each semester. And that will cover you the whole year, even during the summer. It covers you everywhere in the world, not just, in the United States. It covers you everywhere except your home country. So when DePauw students do internships, study abroad, summer vacations, if you're outside your home country, this insurance will cover you, and it's an excellent insurance. We have worked with that company for a long time. So it will be charged, like I said, after classes start, probably late August or early September.
So I want to add something about insurance. So, one thing is the health costs in the United States, it's super expensive. So that is why we want all our students to be insured. We've had instances in the past when student needed surgery and the cost was about $40,000 or more. And because they had the DePauw insurance, the only cost, out-of-pocket cost was about $15, for a doctor, or $50, to have an ambulance and things like that. So the insurance is really, really good, and it would be very good for you because you don't have to worry, and that's something that, we don't want you to be stressed. We want you to know that, God forbid, if anything happens to you, that you would be taken good care of. And finally, sometimes students, if you believe that you have a very good insurance that could be equal or better to the DePauw insurance, then you can submit those documents for review. So that is a possibility as well.
And you can submit those by sending a detailed copy of the policy you are hoping to purchase instead of our Luremark insurance. You can submit those to iss@depaw.edu. We'll do a review through our insurance company, and they have to approve it or deny it so that it's equal or better coverage. So we'll give you written confirmation of that for sure. Very few insurance policies are as good or better than the one that we have. And the thing that I also like about it is that there are no hidden costs. Almost everything is covered. And that way you're only paying, the one fee, and all of your medical needs are met. We have an on-campus health clinic for students called the Wellness Center. There's counseling services and medical services. So a lot of your basic needs will be taken care of conveniently right here on campus, and it's free unless you have some special immunization or something you need, or a special test. So they provide basic services. We have a hospital 5 minutes from campus, so everything else that you would need, you can get pretty conveniently nearby as well.
So what is the process for course request, and do you have any small tips of advice about that?
Sure, I can answer that question. So guys, please know that on May 23rd, there will be a webinar by faculty from DePauw University. That webinar is very, very important. Please try to attend. It will be on the DePauw Facebook page. You're gonna get emails, and if you didn't, please reach out to me or Eliza, and we'll be happy to help you. But the webinar gonna help you, make your course selection. So I know that I think just a few minutes ago, Yuka shared with you, a link to all the first year courses that are cleared for first year students. So please look at that list and look at the courses and start thinking about which course you wanna join. You're more than welcome to do that. The other thing about course selections, we really strongly recommend that students don't take more than 4 courses their first semester. In fact, we tell them, 3 credit, 3.5 credit, that's the maximum for your first semester. The reason for that is, you need to adjust to a new system. So you're coming from high school to university. You're coming to a very, very good university. that is academically rigorous. So we want to make sure that you have a smooth transition. So taking too many courses more than what you need is really not advisable. We know that you guys are very, very smart, but please wait until your second semester when you feel more comfortable. Then you can do 4 credit or 4.5 credit. Every credit at DePauw, it means like a full course. So most courses will be either 1 credit, some courses will be half credit. And then you'll get to know that as you're signing up for courses, you'll know if it's a 1 credit course or a half credit course.
You're going to learn a lot of the most important details during the webinar on May 23rd. You'll also be able to sort of learn who the people are who you can ask questions about, academic advice, what courses you should take. And the first year is really about exploration. So you want to consider selecting a variety of classes. And they'll, again, talk with you about that.
Yeah.
Some students also, consider registering for very high level courses, like a 300 level. In the US, the kind of more introductory courses are 100s. Then, you get a little bit more in depth at the 200 level, 300s and 400s. So you have a range of levels of courses. 100 courses are not necessarily easy. They're more of an introduction or a survey of a particular discipline or topic. There's nothing easy about a 100 level course. But those 300, 400 level courses are quite advanced and detailed in that major or in that discipline, which is why you should really consider waiting until later to delve into the 300 and 400 level courses. Even if a professor would admit you to the class, tell you, yes, you could take the class, it's not advisable for first-year students. Those who do often regret having enrolled in such an advanced class at the beginning because you need a foundation in the subject first.
So I want to address, I see that Shinyi, she's asking a question about deductible for insurance. So we don't do deductible. That's what Eliza was saying. There are no hidden cost. It's a very clear, easy plan that we have. We did it for a reason because we want to make sure that our students have good coverage, that there is no hidden costs, nothing that is not clear. So the only thing that you would pay, like we told you, will be, that premium, like you're paying about $700 each semester to be covered. And then if you need to go to a doctor appointment, it's $15, 15. If you need to go to the hospital, it's 100 now.
Emergency room. So emergency care is a $100 fee. Everything else is paid for. Yeah. And then, a doctor's appointment it's actually $20.
$20. Okay.
So you'll know in advance what you would pay, and the insurance will cover everything else.
Yeah. So no hidden fees, Shini. It's all clear.
And unless you get seriously ill, then the DePauw Wellness Center can take care of you as well.
They'll cover most everything that you need that's basic: colds, even birth control. There's, x-rays if you need them, immunizations. All kinds of basic medical services are available right here on campus. It's walking distance, 3 or 5 minutes, and you're there. So it's quite convenient. What we care about is that students don't have financial difficulties because of unexpected medical costs, and that you have good coverage, and the customer service is very helpful.
Also, regarding the course selection, there should be a course catalog on the DePauw website, so you can type course catalog in the search box, and you can find it and start reading about the description of the course. Speaking
of course enrollment, one student in advance asked, and I want to answer this question, am I restricted to only certain courses if I, am declared, say, an economics major? If I'm a computer science major, can I only take courses in computer science? What if I'm undeclared? Does that mean that I can't take certain courses? So here's how it works at DePauw. We encourage everyone to explore, and in fact, you have graduation requirements that require you to take a certain number of courses outside of your major field of study. That's the whole point of the liberal arts, is to provide you with a well-rounded education. So you take your major courses and you take requirements outside of your major. That means there are no restrictions on which subjects you can take. You just need to consider what's the best choice for you in terms of the variety of courses each semester, and your academic advisor will help you figure out which courses you need to start with for your major, or what you think will be your major. It's completely acceptable, and in fact, we encourage people to consider not declaring their major for some time, because you should really give give yourself the chance to learn about other areas you haven't been exposed to yet and try out some new disciplines, because you might find that you happen to love, biochemistry or literature or studio art because you've maybe never tried it before.
It's really okay not to know your major yet.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the different writing assessments that students have to take this summer?
This summer, you'll have two things you need to do before coming to DePauw. All first-year students, so this is not exchange students or LDAs, but all first-year DePauw students will complete a common read. It'll be an article, and you'll have a writing assessment based on that article. You'll need to do that between the dates of July 10th and August the 4th. You should receive emails about that, and it's required. So you have to do that and submit the writing assessment by no later than August 4th. So please watch for that. You'll also have, after that is due, from August the 4th through the 17th, there'll be some online modules to sort of educate you about some important things like alcohol use in the United States and on campus, how to be safe, and also like some diversity and living on campus with others. These are some important topics that we require all students complete online between August 4th and 17th. Your registration will be held if you don't complete these two required things before you come to campus, or at least by the deadlines. Some of you in English Institute might finish up while you're here. You'll also have a written English assessment during International Student Orientation, and that'll be here in person, so that's easy. That just helps us finalize the best English or sort of writing courses for you in your first semester.
What are the different orientation programs and what should students expect from that?
So guys, we have the first is the English Institute, and that will be from August 1st to August 13th. Like we mentioned previously, we really strongly encourage you, if you are able to, arrive a little bit early, but know that you can't move into your dorm until the 1st. So if you can arrive a day or two early and stay at that hotel that, we said can provide you with a discount and it's a nice hotel, that would be helpful to get over your jet lag. But your English immersion is from August 1st to August 13th, okay? Then all the international students have to attend what we refer to it as the International Students Orientation, and that will be from August 14th to August 18th, just half a day of August 18th. The international orientation, it's going to be super fun. English immersion is a lot of fun, and I can assure you that all the students that attend the English immersion, they all end up loving it. Whenever we do a survey, everybody loves it. They love it because they get a leg up on understanding academics at DePauw. So it's not only about English, it's academics. It's getting to know professors. It's getting to know a lot about your new community, your new environment. So it's a very, very good program. And the students that go to the English immersion really, really love it. So, like I said, the international orientation, that's August 14 to August 18. What you will do, you will be taking, there is a test. There are many important information about immigration,
Health insurance.
health insurance, again, meeting with your professors, a lot of games, a lot of social events, trips. It's a beautiful, beautiful events where you're going to make good friendships. In fact, a lot of those people that you're going to be meeting during your orientation are going to end up being your best friends. So it's just, I feel it's, our national students are very lucky that we have these programs for them, because really our goal is to prepare you to make sure that you feel comfortable, that you feel adjusted, that you build your confidence, and that that this is your place, that this is your home. So that's very, very important. And finally, everybody, all the students, international and domestic students, have to attend the first year experience, and that will be, the half a day of August 18th to August 22nd. And we have a lot of events for all the students that we do. Then you please know that your classes will begin on August 23rd.
And one quick note about the language department assistant program. You have a special brief orientation. You'll come a little bit after other students, and that's going to be the 17th of August, a Thursday, arriving. and then you'll begin, your activities on Friday the 18th with opening day for everyone. So you'll have your own shorter orientation, and it lasts until the day that classes begin. So the 17th through the 22nd, and then classes start on Wednesday, the 23rd of August for the language department assistants.
So I'm sorry, one thing that I forgot. So we also have many domestic students who live abroad, and they're going to be attending the international orientation as well. And we believe that orientation is valuable for you as well. So please, 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 make sure that you attend. It's an orientation for international and then for Americans living abroad.
Great. I have a question for Yuka. I think she has some important information to share. So I'll close with that question. Yuka, can you tell everyone who you think are really the most important people that they need to get to know before they come to campus to be successful and to know the most important people?
So the first group of people will be faculty and staff. So your first year seminar professors, as soon as you find out your professors, maybe reach out to them, introduce yourself, get to know them a little bit. That way you will have easier transition into your new academic environment. Also, Eliza and Luffy, you might have already been in contact with them, but it's really important to keep in touch with them and let them know if you have any questions or any problems, especially regarding the visa process, because so that we can make sure that you arrive on campus safely. And another group of people that you should know before you come in here is ambassadors, global partners, and your roommates. So ambassadors, they're called international ambassadors. They are gonna be your mentors who are different from first year mentors that you're gonna get for your first year seminar. And so what ambassadors can do is they will plan orientation for you. So all the fun activities you're gonna have are planned by ambassadors. They're gonna be mentoring you throughout the first semester so that you will have a successful transition into DePauw. It's really important for you to take advantage of every single event and every single meeting so that you will get to know more people, you will have great friends, you will have really, really fun experience, and you're going to be adjusting more to DePauw. And that's really important for you to do it in order to have higher academic performance. Global partners, ambassadors will send you emails over the summer so you can get in contact with them and start socializing with them as well. Global partners are the group of American students who volunteer to be your friend at the DePauw. So what it is you're gonna have a great time going to events together, have meals together, study together, and I had a great experience with my global partner too. And so that list will also be sent out during the summer so that you can start contacting them and maybe plan something fun ahead of time so that you can make sure that you're going to have a great start with them. And lastly, your roommates. Again, as we said earlier in the session, please contact them before you come here so that you can figure out what to bring, what not to bring. You don't want to have 2 refrigerators in your room. It's also important for you to start building friendship so that you will have really, really fun college life at DePauw.
So before we close the session, I just saw a very good question. The question from Shinyi, she's asking about host families, especially during the holiday and Christmas. And I think it would be good to let the student know, when the dorms will close, and then maybe briefly the host program.
It's really important to know those things in advance. Clearly, you all have to make plans for flights or for alternative arrangements if you want to stay in the United States. We encourage you in the first year to spend as much time in the U.S. as possible. You'll have winter break, when the first semester ends, and in the U.S. we celebrate sort of Christmas and New Year's together. You're surely familiar with that. Winter term follows. So between the fall and spring semester, there's quite a time where you'll be free. If you choose not to do winter term this year, you're going to have a long break. So you need to plan in advance. Our academic calendar is posted years in advance on DePauw's website. So it's very important that you use that. We refer to it in your, the letter that you get with your I-20 or DS 2019. So it's there. You can find it on DePauw's website very easily, academic calendar, and you'll see the official dates when classes end, classes begin. So the holiday periods, and then also when dorms or university-owned houses and apartments close. Dorms will close over only the winter break, and we provide alternative housing. So you can know that you'll always have an option to stay on campus if you live in a dorm. And then the university-owned apartments and houses, they don't close during the winter break. You're able to stay there. So you'll have continuous places to stay, but you do need to inform yourself about all of the important dates. And if you do happen to apply to our host family program, which is a wonderful option for all international students, then you don't live with them. It's not a residential program. It's more of a family friend program.
Mm-hmm.
But some students do end up getting very close to their families, and they might invite you to spend some holidays with them. You shouldn't count on it because it depends on the family's level of comfort and their plans as well. But some students have stayed with their families before. We will always make sure that you have housing on campus. But please be sure that you're here for all, required class days and exams, and you can see that online. We also provide shuttles at the beginning and end of each vacation period through the university, so you can see those shuttle lists online in advance as well. And it's best if you schedule your flights when you can get a shuttle easily. We have taxi service as well. You'll get to the airport. We'll help you figure that out.
Great. Can we have closing remarks? Is there anything that you guys want to end with? Some message or something? I mean, just quickly.
Go ahead, Yuka. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm really happy you guys are coming to DePauw. Welcome to DePauw family. You guys are gonna be the biggest international class ever, and truly diverse class. So I really hope you guys take advantage of all the opportunities available for you to be successful, not only at DePauw, but beyond DePauw, after you graduate, even during you're at DePauw, doing internships, getting to know more people, so that you will have really, really amazing life at DePauw. And these Eliza and Luffy and other students, faculty, and staff members truly care about you. And so please know that you can always ask for help. But welcome to the family. I'm not going to be here for the summer when you guys arrive, but I really hope to see your activities on Facebook and be informed about how successful life you're having at DePauw.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yuka. I have to say, we can't wait for you to get here, but we know you have a lot to do this summer to prepare. So communication is key. We want you to ask your questions. Right now, we're actually quite busy because our seniors and our current students are preparing to leave DePauw, which is why we've been slow to respond to email. So thank you for your patience. We'll be communicating heavily with you over the summer, and we expect you to do the same. Please be sure that you communicate, because this is something you need to get used to. DePauw, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of things to do, and you have to be active in terms of asking questions and informing yourself. And in fact, Yuka was telling you about very important people that are going to be important in your lives. It's very much, sort of expected that you communicate with your roommate, your global partner, your ambassadors. So please start doing that as soon as you get that information and with our office. So welcome, and we can't wait to see you. We'll talk to you a lot in the coming weeks.
Also, with that being said, DePauw uses a lot of email communication. So I think you should be able to already open your email account. So please do that as soon as possible, and please check it regularly so that you will not miss any important information.
Awesome. And I want to reiterate the same message. We are so much looking forward to welcoming you at DePauw. It's been a real pleasure working with you guys and through the admission process. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you in August. Please, like Eliza and Yuka said, if you have questions, ask us your questions. Also, please start building your community on Facebook. And then, for our Chinese students on WeChat, keep talking to one another, because that's how you can learn even more information. On our Facebook page, we have, a lot of our student leaders. So Yuka and other students are, on the Facebook page, and they can answer any question that you guys have. And it's, always, if somebody has one question, trust me, there are 30 or 40 students who probably are thinking the same question. So you will do everybody a big favor by asking your questions. So Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I hope it was useful, and enjoy the rest of your evening or morning, whatever you guys are now. It's the morning in Indiana here. We're at 9:45 a.m. So thank you so much, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.